Welcome to the Made by Albi Showcase 2026. Last year we brought a number of well-received games such as Severton, Garden Lake and Dirt and Dust. And this year's there's plenty to look forward to as well, including Night at the Zoo, a brand new family game from the rising star of the board game scene, Tomáš Holek. Although Tomáš made his debut with a quartet of dense Euro-style games, he is actually one of the most versatile designers I know. And Night at the Zoo is proof of that. It's a game whose rules seem very simple, almost trivial at first glance. After all, the rulebook is only 12 pages long and most of those are filled with large illustrations. But playing Night at the Zoo really well and scoring as many points as possible, that's a whole different story. Night at the Zoo is designed for 1 to 4 players aged 10 and up, and a single game can be finished in about half an hour. You take on the roles of animals that snuck out for the night and now want to return home before sunrise, so no one notices anything and the visitors aren't disappointed in the morning. The game features 6 animal species and 3 of them are used in each session. Each player receives 3 animals of each selected species. In total, you're trying to get 9 animals to the center of your board in time, but getting them all there is quite a challenge. Each type of animal moves according to a different rule and you can't just activate them whenever you like. That's why careful planning is essential and you need to make your turns in a way that lets you advance as many of your animals as possible. And what kinds of turns are we talking about? As I mentioned, Night at the Zoo is indeed very simple in terms of rules. Each player chooses 1 tile from the available selection and either places it, stores it, or discards it. When placing a tile, you can activate icons on your player board or simply prepare the terrain for future turn. Discarding a tile, on the other hand, lets you move all animals standing on the same type of terrain as the one you discarded. But as I already noted, each animal moves differently. The penguin slides on its belly until it hits an obstacle, the sloth falls asleep every second round. In short, figuring out how to combine everything efficiently requires some serious thought. With 6 available animal species, there are already a wide variety of combinations in which your game can unfold. But just to make things even more interesting, we're also prepared an expansion called Latecomers, which adds 4 new animal species: meerkats, monkeys, turtles and crocodiles, and it will be released at the same time as the base game. And when will it be released, you ask? Night at the Zoo, including the Latecomers expansion, will be released at Gen Con 2026 and it will be brought to the US market by our great friends from Capstone Games. Release date for Continental Europe and German version is set on 18th of August. We are all very pleased with the popularity of unique strategic take on rally racing in the form of Dirt and Dust by Petr Vojtěch. That's also why, back at Albi Game Day in November, we already announced the Harbordrift mini expansion, introducing new track full of sharp turns. What we haven't said yet though is when you can expect Harbordrift. And the answer is, in fact, right now. Dirt and Dust Harbordrift is releasing today. So if you want to test a new track, definitely check it out. We'll stay with Petr Vojtěch for a while longer, because he's also the author of the next game. And although it has not yet been published, it is already collecting awards around the world. In the prestigious annual board game designer competition on Board Game Geek, where print and play games using exactly 54 cards compete for the winning, this title placed second in the cooperative games and visual design categories and third overall. In such a strong competition, this is certainly an achievement worth noting. This year, the game will receive a full retail release. The title is Potemkin Villages, a cooperative trick-taking card game in which you, together with Grigory Alexandrovich Potemkin, try to deceive Empress Catherine as she sails down the Dnieper River, inspecting her empire. I bet that you've already heard the story. Potemkin is said to have had fake, beautiful, prosperous-looking villages built along Catherine's route to conceal the poverty and hardship that actually existed at the time. Your goal is to ensure that the Empress sees nothing she is not meant to see, which in practice means playing individual tricks so that you stay ahead of her journey in the center of a table. If you manage to do this long enough until the deck runs out, you win. But if Catherine sees through your deception, you'll be in serious trouble. Each player is assigned a role with a special ability, but activating it requires that the player wins the trick. This often means you are trying to set up another specific player to win, which is not easy at all, since, quite logically, you cannot reveal what cards you are holding. Compared to the original print and play version, the retail edition includes new sets of roles with additional interesting effects, introducing new challenges to an already quite demanding cooperative card game. You can look forward to Potemkin Villages this fall. Looking back for a moment at both recent and more distant past, I see a lot of great titles. And because we are pleased with your continued interest in them, we have prepared a few small gifts for the occasion of the Made by Albi showcase, which you can already download on albi.eu. For the game of vehicular combat, Crash Derby, we have prepared additional gameplay modules introducing new obstacles and new options for modifying the map. And that's not all. Along with a new game mode for team play, you will compete in 2-player teams to capture your opponent's flags and deliver them back to your base. For the family game full of differently shaped tiles, Removal, you can download alternative designs for moving trucks, offering new challenges for those who have already grown tired of the classic vans. And finally, for the beautiful family game Witchdom, we have prepared additional endgame objectives that can be scored by all players. For example, having only 2 colors of witches or potions in your clan, having no unused ingredients left, or ending the game with no witches remaining in your hand. All of these bonuses are already available for download, so head over to albi.eu and explore old favorites in new ways. But now, let's go back to what's yet to come. The story of Karak 2 is slowly heading to its conclusion with the new expansion Inferno. The heroes have managed to repel the forces of the Dark General as well as the rise of the Chaos Riders, and they are now moving on to a counter-offensive. Their goal? To find a direct path into the enemy realm, Inferno itself. However, this will not be easy. The necessary clues to the secret entrance are hidden within 3 heavily armed fortresses, the Towers of Inferno. If the endless hordes of monsters are ever to be stopped, these towers must be conquered. The Inferno expansion brings, alongside the usual new heroes, 3 modules, the first of which, Infernal Descent, offers a feature long requested by fans of Karak, the ability to join forces and play the game cooperatively. In this mode, your progress is hindered by random events drawn from a deck, counting down the time until the forces of darkness overwhelm the heroes' resistance. You will need to split your efforts and achieve your objective before enemies become unstoppable. In addition to the cooperative mode, this module also introduces the possibility to play Karak 2 solo. The Inferno Towers module offers an alternative ending to the game, which requires players to conquer a trio of strongly defended towers. Each tower consists of 3 floors, 3 separate battles, and in order to capture a tower, you must successfully complete all 3 battles within a single turn. If you fail, you must start again from the first floor next time, regardless of how far you had progressed before. Fortunately, there is also a third module, the Last Bastion of Peace. If you include this module in your game, you can complete additional quests that allow you to recruit special units. These can only be used for a single battle, but they are not restricted by your current level of glory. In addition to the Inferno expansion, we are also working on a third set of miniatures for Karak 2, featuring heroes from both the Inferno and Chaos expansions, as well as promo hero miniatures for all 3 expansions of Karak 2. Both Karak 2 Inferno and the new miniature set are scheduled for release this October, but fans of Karak can already start looking forward to next year. In 2027, we will celebrate the 10th anniversary of Karak. And trust me, man, it's going to be a celebration to remember. We'll keep the details for the Albi Game Day event in November, but I can already promise it will be huge. Every year is the same. I stand here and say that the upcoming game is the biggest and the most complex we have released so far. But what can you do when it's true every single time? Prague Unseen, created by the author trio Jindřich Pavlásek, Michal Peichl and Petr Vojtěch, is a huge board game in every sense of the word. It takes up a lot of space on the table, contains a huge number of components, a wide range of mechanisms and plenty of decision-making opportunities, and you'll need to set aside a large part of your afternoon to play it. But it's definitely worth it. You'll venture into the Prague as you've never seen it before, a city populated by golems, vodniks, horned and even robots. And you won't just be strolling across Charles Bridge. Instead, you'll be tasked with rebuilding Prague after a devastating flood. How do you achieve that? By making use of the strengths of the various kinds of creatures inhabiting Prague. In Prague Unseen, you'll find light engine building elements. Some might also call it a point salad game, but first and foremost, it is a worker placement game, just not an ordinary one. The 4 types of workers represent the 4 factions inhabiting Prague, and each of them is suited to different tasks. And not only that, they cannot really be set to fully cooperate. On the contrary, they constantly compete for influence in the city. Based on which workers players use in which places, the game determines in each following era which race will be more or less favored, which workers can be placed where and which cannot. How you build your strategy will also differ in every playthrough. The exact form of actions you can perform is not fixed in advance. The possibilities of how players can use their workers are defined by building cards, which you construct during the game, and these cards can be different in each session. What doesn't change is that each of the 4 factions in the game is tied to a unique action mechanism through which you earn points. And points, in fact, are gained in many ways, through dominance in districts, card placement, or via minigames. It is precisely this variability that is one of the greatest strengths of Prague Unseen. The fact that each time you must adapt to a different combination of actions on the game board and combine that with the most efficient use of each faction's mechanisms. There is a lot that could still be said about Prague Unseen, but we will definitely return to it later in the year in a dedicated video. Prague Unseen is set to release this year in Essen, and we cannot wait for you to join us among horned vodniks, golems and robots. And that's all for this evening. I hope that after today's presentation of the featured games you're looking forward to them at least as much as we are. Whether you plan to head out to a zoo at night, build fake villages, conquer infernal towers, or uncover the secrets of old Prague, our games are here for you. And I have to repeat myself, we are absolutely delighted that original Albi games have firmly found their place on your board game shelves, and even more so on your board game tables. I would be delighted if you give our games a thumbs up and a follow on Board Game Geek. It would really help us. For further updates, I recommend checking out some other videos here on YouTube or following the Albi Games and Puzzles page on Facebook. You may also learn more about our games on our website albi.eu. Thank you for your attention and support, and I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye.